Are you a superhero to your kid?
Absolutely.
Not when your boss is in the room. What's best for your kids is to put your money into something, the stress, go through all of it, so when your child becomes a man, he doesn't have to work for nobody.
Right, well, that's the
you
whole
can
thing.
just pass it to him. Can another man say you're fired?
Absolutely.
No one can tell me that. That's priceless.
But
Do you think your son enjoys you calling somebody else a boss? Don't you think your son would rather wake up with you and you could pick him up from school instead of having to do a 9 to 5? Don't you think your son would love if his name was up there? I taught my son never to have a boss. He's 23. He owns a restaurant. He has cookies. He has equity. He busts his ass so he can pass it on to his son. If that's not what you're hustling for, you're selfish. You keep saying I'm worried about my kids. You worried about you. My kids, you enjoy the safety and the security of a job every day. But there's no pride in that to me. But when you do something that's for yourself and your family, it never feels like work. I hustle for my last name. I don't hustle for my first.
Man, most important thing, number one, is you got to get rid of doubt. If you got doubt in what you're doing, it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? And the way to do that is you have a plan. Because if you got a plan, it's not like just a pipe dream. You have a step-by-step list of things to do to get to your goal. If you don't have that, it's very hard to really have faith in what you're doing. Because as soon as something pop up, it's going to look like the end all. But if you got a game plan of everything you need to do, you know, one thing pop up, well, I still got to do this, and that, so this ain't going to stop me. You know what I'm saying? Another thing pop up, well, shit, I accomplished this 2 things. Since my last obstacle, I only got 3 more things to do. Let me keep pushing, fuck it. Pretty soon you attained your goal, and then you create another one. But without a game plan and without a strong sense of faith in what you're doing, it's going to be real hard to accomplish anything. And I know, you know, it's a lot of obstacles out here. Family, baby mamas, the legal system, trouble with the law, you know, your homeboys being involved in a crab in the bucket syndrome, where, you know what I mean, you making moves and starting to make your way out, and people start trying to attach themselves to you and really become weight, you know what I'm saying, extra weight. And sometimes it's like kamikaze, they blow themselves up trying to stop you. So, you know, you gotta have faith in what you're doing and not take no for an answer. You'll get it. It'll be a long run, but you'll get it.
Yeah. Corporate is a facade. Right. It's not yours. You can't give it to nobody. You can't give it to your family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. A true man wants to make his life easier for his children, not himself. Right? So I can just have a job where I get fired or I die, I'm done, my kids don't get it, I'm gonna hustle for a pension? Hell nah. When the company sell, I don't get nothing? What you working for if it's not yours? How hard you gonna really work for it if you don't own it? Think about it. You're working for a paycheck. You're gonna do the least amount of work as possible unless you really believe there's a future in it.
It's like you don't never want to go back. You know what I'm saying? Like the sea is like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like your past, bro, like how you grew up, your parents, this cycle, that family cycle, that whole everything is like, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to never go back. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. That's the key thing to success, bro. Like that the average person and people don't realize, you know, everybody want to be like, how you get successful? How you do this? How you do that? Like how you actually do it? Like it's something so hard to do, which is really not. The key thing is like, bro, never stop.
Yeah.
We have to realize that we're the boss, and that like my son already has a company. My son already sells his own socks.
There you go. Yep.
Baby Dusko. He's never gonna know life without having his own company. It's gonna be his normal.
Right.
So, you know, it's our patterns and what we're programmed to believe is normal, what we accept. So yeah, it should not be normal to not have your own business.
Where can people purchase those socks?
To do by people. It should not be normal to be always trying to just survive.
Right.
Because it's hard to play chess when you're always playing checkers to eat and breathe.
Thought of even feeling is not an option.
It's not even in his head.
Right. You know
it
what I'm saying?
doesn't exist.
But I like to think that a lot of times with life, everything is goes off of energy. So if you always putting that positive energy out there and you believe and you put the work in, because it's about putting the work in. If you put the work in and you got positive energy behind the work,
it's a wrap.
I feel like it's a wrap. I feel like long as it's something that's, you know, like is achievable in doing. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't never played basketball and you like, oh, I'm about to play in the NBA, and then you think that shit's gonna be a little harder than what you think. You know what as long as it's something, a great idea.
Yeah,
it got to start with a great idea. Number one,
right, definitely
it has to be a great idea.
Yes,
a great idea,
right?
Like undeniable,
right, and then it has to follow up with the work being put in and the great energy. If you doubt yourself, then a lot of times when it's time to get up out the bed to go put that work in, I don't know. Then the shit never gets done. So I just wanted to elaborate.
And you got to be the change you want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we depend on everybody else to change the world but us. We waiting for everybody to do everything for us but us.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You just want to run around talking about they got me fucked up, they got me like this. But what do you have yourself? You understand? You have to have yourself on a level that you want to be on. And so, like, that's like a lot of things, especially in the streets. Like, everybody is not just going to fall from the sky. You got to put that fucking work in. You got to put the work in.
That's me.